of an agent is a very difficult role. I think it's one of the hardest jobs that you can have because there are so many outside obstacles or things that are impacting the agent on a constant basis. So I talk a lot about agent engagement. It's sort of like the receptionist. The receptionist is the front line of your business. The agent is the front line of your brand. So your brand that you want to portray to your clients is really important. And anything you can do to work with your agents to give them a great benefit of experience. And I would say it translates and changes from environment to environment. So one of the things I look at too is, let's talk about something very simple that everyone's familiar with, after call work. In a very stressful environment, extending the after call work to give agents downtime between calls is probably a good starting point, but really getting a handle on where they need breaks. That's very different than a quick, easy contact center where they don't really have a highly stressful environment. But that being said, most contact centers environments, because of the metrics, tend to be stressful. I'm just saying, and my example is really about thinking it from different vantage points. There's no one size fits all. Agents have an important role in terms of what they're tasked with. Number one, they represent your brand. That goes without saying. But what's really important, though, is how they answer the call and how they greet clients does have a subliminal message that is sent out to your customers, and they feel it the minute the call is answered. I was on a call yesterday with an unnamed vendor, Allstate, who got me to a department and just really wasn't thrilled with helping anybody. It was also a very noisy contact center. I could hear all the crosstalk in the background, so it was very difficult. When they transferred to the right department, it was a more professional environment. It was very quiet, and I was surprised at the difference in service I got in that environment. They also are the ones that take care of your customers. When you think about it, these are the folks that you've empowered and you pay them a wage to handle your customers. So if you're expecting excellent customer service, of course you expect your agents to perform well. At some level, I think it's your responsibility to give them the tools and the environment so that they can feel really good about what they do. Now, that's not to say they're going to feel great about what they do 100% of the time, but for the most part, I think you can satisfy most people by giving them things that help them elevate their experience. Their job provides value, of course. They're the front lines of your business. They're the ones that actually are the face of your business. And lastly, they can make or break the customer experience, and that is a true statement. Again, my experience yesterday, my initial agent that reached me, he seemed like he was bored with his job and was just kind of going through the motions. But when I got to the next rep, who was in a more quiet environment, she was actually happier. And anyway, so those things were important to me. I heard those definitely loud and clear. So those things that I hear, I have to believe other people hear as well. Now let's look a little further at the role of the agent. I think what can happen to an agent, their job can become mundane. Think about what they do, call after call. They have, for those environments that do have a scripted desktop flow process for efficiency purposes, it can become mundane. And your agents tend to start looking at things as monotonous. Do I got to do this again over and over? So one of the things that are difficult about the role of an agent, which can provide a sense of mundane, is that inconsistent temperaments. You know, customers and people are very different. They come at it from different points of view, and maybe they're having a bad day. You know, oftentimes agents are the end of the vent or the receiving end of someone's vent inappropriately, and it's very difficult to disassociate from that. They do the same activity over and over. What I see interesting, too, is that in a lot of contact centers, I don't see a lot of recognition for the agents individually. What I do see is wallboards that have metrics and statistics about the overall performance. In the last several I've been in, I haven't seen a lot of programs geared towards agent recognition. And what happens there is that agents become robotic, and you've got to find a way to kind of mix it up, give them something, a little variety, and there's lots of ways to do that.